All right. So, I was thinking the other day, when we were growing up, being in school, we actually came from we had to dress from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. I think we were about finished with school. But when you think about dressing and clothing and things like that, what would you say was the most important article of clothing to you when you were dressing to go to, let's just say, middle school?
Those shoes. It's always been the shoes. It's always been shoes. I'll tell you a quick story. Okay. In junior high school, this was before the era of leather tennis shoes. My best friend was the first person in junior high school to sport a pair of leather tennis shoes. He had a pair of leather All-Star Converse.
Oh, really? The Converse were, I remember when leather Nikes came out, but there were leather Converse.
They were called NBA All-Star.
I thought they were always canvas.
No, leather. It was when the leather tennis shoes kind of started coming out. They were very expensive. He was the envy of the school because he sported a pair of leather. See, here's the thing it was right about the time that Nike was coming out also. That's when the shoe was becoming the thing. I wanted a pair of leather Nikes. I wanted to be different. Everybody got Nikes, but having a pair of Nikes was quote unquote being different. We couldn't afford any leather Nikes. We couldn't afford any leather tennis shoes, period. So my mother got me a pair of canvas Nikes. I was crushed. I was crushed.
Did you wear them?
Oh, I wore them. I mean, think about it is, having canvas tennis shoes wasn't a bad thing. Yeah. I just wanted leather. And I remember how much they cost. $32. That
does sound like, I guess back in then that does sound like a lot.
That was just too much to be paying for a pair of tennis shoes. One pair of tennis shoes, but I wore them. They were cool, but they were not leather.
They were not leather. So, okay. So today we're going to be talking about clothes, hair, shoes, and what we've been wearing, throughout our generations, throughout our cultures, and in our families. So, when you think about it, like, what makes you want to wear something? Like, what makes you want to wear it? Is it the comfort, the style? You saw somebody wearing it? What makes you want to wear something?
Well, I think the reason why people wear anything is either they're trying to be seen, they're trying to be different.
I'm just talking about, but I'm saying, like, what do you like?
Me?
You don't have a style. Do you have a style? You don't have a style.
Fashion, me and fashion are ships that pass in the night. Yeah,
you are. You're right about that. You will be sporting a T-shirt that you had 15 years ago. And I'm like,
I wear the cover up. So really though, I've never been a real big fashion person. Now there are things that I like. There's true things I like. And there are things that has to do with quality that I like, things like that. But to be honest with you, say, wearing Gucci and
you've never been a fan of
and Louis Vuitton.
So would you say that's more because of the fact that that those things are expensive or just you just don't care for them?
I would say I don't care for them. I mean, I could wear a Gucci a Gucci belt or whatever, but look, I'm gonna have to save up a couple of chicks. but what I'm saying is, everybody probably has something, that's brand name that they could wear or whatever. But I've just never really too much cared for fashion and things like that. Now
me, I'm not like a real fashionista myself, but you can throw me a little Louis Vuitton in there. You can throw me a little Gucci in there, a little Prada. I'd be glad. I'd be glad to wear all of it.
Here's the thing about it is,
unfortunately, I don't own any of those things, but this is a JCPenney special right here.
Oh, come on now. You got some stuff in there, the Michael Kors stuff. purses and whatnot.
Yeah, but all that stuff. Okay, yeah.
But the thing about it is now, like the kids and stuff. I mean, I like to see them, comfortable or, wearing what they want to wear, but.
But like I said, so we came up, like, we were born in the late 60s, so probably didn't really care about what was in the 60s. But we primarily were probably, in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, like or the 2000s. When you think about all of the fashion eras that we went through, which one do you think had the best style when you were dressing? Was it the 70s, the 80s?
I personally like the 80s.
Oh, wow.
Because see, the 80s, you had the straight leg jeans and, you at that time, the afro was going out and the fade was coming in. It was just high top. I never went for the high top fade. Because I've always been kind of conservative.
Thing was coming in.
See, I've been so conservative all my,
Yeah, that's kind of funny. I think for me, it may have been around the 90s. I kind of like the 90s because it's the things that kind of calmed down. You had was that when you was wearing the members only jacket?
Oh,
was that the 90s?
That was late 80s. That was late 80s. That was late 80s.
Yeah, I kind of like those.
You never want that Jerry curl.
Oh, I did. I got a Jerry curl.
Oh, really?
When I was 14 years old, I begged my mom. I wanted this Jerry. I did. Everybody was wearing Jerry curl, and I wanted a Jerry curl. My mom tried to talk me out of it. This was back when the time when they just slapped lie on your head. And they didn't care if you were burning or not. It didn't, because you were just sacrificing your scalp for the greater good. And I remember I went and I got a Jerry curl. And I have really, really sensitive scalp, which is why I decided to go natural a few years ago. But that's a whole nother story because the lie was just doing too much to me. And I remember when I was 14 and I got that Jerry curl. Oh my God. Burned the fire out of me. I remember laying on the couch just crying. I had chemical burns all in my head. I don't know who my mama, like you said, we ain't had no money. So let me tell her who my mama got to do my hair. They don't tell her who that was, but yeah.
So the curl didn't take.
The curl didn't take. It just did. I went through all that. My mom, I'm going to tell you a really funny story. My mom tried to give my brother one, right? My older brother one. She tried to give, because I could see his hair. She tried to give him a Jerry curl, and it just turned out awful. He looked like a werewolf. His hair came out so straight. She told him it would curl up overnight. When she finished with it, it was just straight. It was just sticking out. And she said, it'll curl up overnight. And so when he got up the next morning to get ready to go to school, it was still straight. It wasn't like an afro, it was just sticking straight up. And he was horrified. He was like, oh my God.
See, I gotta look. No.
I could just see my brother's hair and him standing in that mirror.
You gotta remember the 70s, that was the time of perms. When men were getting the perms, wore the stack shoes and leisure suits. See, these young folks don't know what a leisure suit is. Two quick things. I remember having a light blue.
Oh, you had one of them light blue. Don't tell me you had the little shirt with the ruffle.
Matching jacket and pants.
With the ruffle.
With a silk shirt.
But they wear that now, though. But I'm saying, not with the little ruffles in the middle.
No. But I tell you this, my brother, I'm the youngest of the boys, but my older brother, he wanted one of those Superfly perms. If you're my age or older, you know what Superfly was. They wore the perms, and they walked around, they was cool. My brother wanted a Superfly perm. He decided to do it himself. No joke. He did it, he let it, and I remember him that day, he had the perm stuff in his head. It was all white, he had to let it sit there for, let it sit in there a while, and I watched the whole process. Okay. He finished.
I know when you see these
washed it out.
You see their hair in your mind.
And it was bad. It wasn't that it was so bad was the funny thing was when my mama came home and saw him. No joke. She said, you got to understand, my mama didn't have a filter and she wasn't, for, saving your feelings either. She said, boy, what the hell you do to your head? Look like cat's been sucking on your head. I hollered. I was hollering laughing.
It's safe to say that we probably had some hairstyles, trying to, figure these things out. And when
you had a bad parent, you had to let it ride.
Yep. That's how my brother did. My mom tried to take him to the barbershop, to cut it. He didn't go to school that day. She didn't let him go. So she tried to take him to the barbershop and get a haircut. But when you're talking about that, speaking of, all these fashion disasters, are there any clothing articles or hairstyles that you just don't understand why people wear them, or you just think they're just not attractive?
Okay, there are a couple things.
Of course, back then, I don't think we like the perm. Us trying to get these
back
perms
then,
and
of course,
curl.
I didn't go for the Jerry curl. I never wanted a Jerry curl. I had an afro. That's about the only thing. Was the Jerry curl and the perm. I never really went for that. After I saw my brother, I was kind of turned off with the perm. Idea. But today, the things that I really don't go for the man purse. Now
for me, I know what you're talking about. The athletes will rock them sometimes. Like I'll see
I'm just not. I'm not feeling it.
It's not that bad to me. It depends on see, when they rock them, they got Louis Vuittons and they got these.
But see, then I see them also too. They wear them, the one that go across. But then they also have some where they carry them, just like a woman carrying a purse.
Gets you is that they carrying it like a woman's purse.
Well, I'm not feeling it. Because I've seen guys, I know guys, you get asked them for whatever, and and then they put it up there on the counter just like a woman. Be looking through the bag. That just kills me. I'm sorry.
I don't think they all do that, but I like the little. Depending on I think for me, I guess it's depending on who's carrying the bag. I guess but I've seen some men with those and wearing them, and it doesn't. I can get down with that. I'm good.
I just figure it. Some people, like you say, I figure it's just them. I can get used to that, or I could accept that. It's not a big deal because one of my good friends. He carries
one of your good friends carries a man purse. Oh, okay. We gotta talk about who that is later on. Yeah. But when you think about that, so growing up with our children, when I try to think about something that I would stop them from when you're going through the different eras and bringing them up, I remember our oldest son used to want to get his ear pierced. Yeah, and we were just not down with the ear piercing at that time, and I think he was it was because Allen Iverson started that with the ear piercing, and then I saw Michael Jordan. He started rocking the hoops, and I just now that one I felt that way about the
usually celebrities or athletes or whatever. They'll bring these styles or whatever, and the kids or whatever are envious of them, and they want those. Now I've never been a fan of men in earrings. I know a lot of guys. That wear earrings, that wear the studs and all that. And left ear, right ear. No ear. I just never been a big fan of that. Now, one other thing that I don't understand, I never liked baggy pants off your, hanging down.
I think that started off when it was just a little bit down from your waist. I think that has gotten worse through time because it went from just right off your hip to just right up under your butt cheek. And then you walk like a, right. I don't know.
And I saw a guy once, he had the belt was actually going across his thighs. And to keep the pants from falling down, even though he had this belt pulled tight, he had reached down like this, and he's holding up, and he walking like.
I don't understand. Help me with that one. I don't help me with that one. That one I just I don't get. But like I said, I was born in the late 60s.
That people that just like it. And not no knock, because they were probably felt the same way about our bell bottoms and our straight leg jeans.
Probably did, and just to throw some stats in there, when we were researching, found out that 59% of people, they use fashion to express their personality. Mm-hmm. I don't know what personality, with the pants around your thighs, or I don't know what that is.
Because I can see that because, it just, to me, is like a woman that has color in her head. When I say color, because some of them, like they go neon colors, the bright pinks and blues or whatever to blonde and whatever.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah. And research showed too that 28% of people use that to express their emotions. They use fashion to, kind of express their emotions. And I can see that with the hair colors and things like that.
Now, I'll tell you this. Now, there's something that I've been seeing lately that I already know I'm going to have a problem with. Men with makeup. I've been seeing that and not a big fan of, because I see a lot of guys now, and like I said, I know I'm old fashioned, I'm probably behind the times, whatever, but I see these guys that have their eyebrows arched and they'll have like eyeliner on or that, I don't know what you call it, foundation or what, whatever to make their skin look smoother, whatever, and I'm just thinking, okay, you didn't run out of stuff to do.
I don't think they ran out of things to do. I think like a lot of men they just want to enhance their appearance and some of them can really rock it. I tell you a secret. Sometimes, I think like gay men are like, they make the best friends sometimes. Because they seem like they're just so much fun. I wish I had one, a gay friend that, I would love hanging out with them because when I watch them, they just seem to be so much fun to me. And they know a lot about fashion and they can tell you, and I think they make people feel good about themselves. Yeah, I know that's another, you just don't agree with me on that one, but that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. So do you think that men should be wearing, do you think that the clothes, can men wear feminine clothes? Do you think clothes that they wear that could be considered feminine? Yeah,
because you do see now a lot of, but not a lot, but you see some of these guys coming out with these skirts and things like that. I'm not a big fan. I mean, I saw a guy once, he had some, what you call them pants that come right here? Capri. I'm like, okay. That's the only thing I can say was, okay.
I think it's to each his own, especially like with Gen Z, they're largely influenced by social media, platforms like TikTok and all of that stuff. So I think it lets people express their individuality, which I'm glad that people are able to be more expressive, because I think that when people have to bottle up or hide who they are, it messes with you mentally and they just generally are not happy. And I'm glad that we're shifting to a culture where people can just really kind of be themselves.
Actually, I have no problem with, I have no problem with people expressing themselves and being who they are. I'm not saying I'm going to agree with their fashion choices, but I'm all for them expressing, like today, this is just me and my opinion, is that I see, when I see women, I notice that with a lot of women, everything is tight and everything is kind of revealing. Like you said, they may be just expressing themselves or whatever. And
it takes a minute for them to get there like that. Because, I don't want to body shame. I want to make sure that I'm not, we're not body shaming anybody. Because I think that if a person has the courage to put it on and feel good about themselves, then I say, hey, go for it. I'm your biggest cheerleader. In my era, they would come up and say, okay, just because they made that don't mean they made it for you. Sometimes people say, but my thing is, heck, they made it in her size. So apparently they wanted her to put it on or him to put it on. So, if it wasn't for you, it wouldn't have been in your size. So, but I mean, I can agree with people being able to have the courage to put the things on and go out and feel good about themselves.
And I totally agree. I'm just saying, I may not agree with their fashion choice, but I would never tell somebody that they can't wear what they want to wear, or they should feel.
Here in the U.S., we spend a lot of money on clothing and footwear, as opposed to by comparison to other countries where they only spend, like we may spend about, do we have a monthly clothing allowance? So we just buy clothes whenever we feel like we just need a new pair of pants. But I think that research shows that people here in the United States per capita spend way more money on clothes than people by comparison to, people in other countries. So,
well, the United States is,
so fashion is important here.
The largest consumer of just about all goods. And I think, here in the United States, we spend a lot of image, and kids in general, on self-image, and so I can bet you this is in the. I'm sure fashion is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
As we wrap this up, we just want to just talk about how just let people know that fashion is different for everyone. So when it comes down to choosing your own and taking, you got to take opinions of others with a grain of salt. Like I said, if you got the courage and whatever, the gumption to put it on, then hey, I'm all for you. Wear what you wear. Watch them hairstyles though.
Right. Now I sure hope them Jerry curls don't come back.
So let's wrap this one up. Remember that happiness is a choice.
And never go back on your promises.
And be the reason someone smiles. And if that doesn't work for you, peace, love, and hair grease.